We have a good mix of rah-rah guys as captains and also guys that you can come to on a personal basis.
Who's the most rah-rah of this separate?
I'll say Chase is the most vocal right now. Yeah.
So if you guys are down at halftime in a game sometime this year and somebody needs to get up and get into the team a little bit or be inspiring.
Oh, I think everybody has that, to be honest. But I think like pre-game stuff and all that kind of stuff, Chase has kind of tried to take the lead on that, and he's our vocal guy right now. But yeah, anybody when they have something on their heart they need to say it, I think it'll be anybody.
Will Chase get on the other players?
Yeah.
They need to.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we have a high standard here at Ohio State, and we got to hold each other to it. And if it's not getting done, you're gonna hear about it. So yeah, I think Chase is definitely taking that role with his D line, and he's definitely spoken to some guys, some young guys in the secondary too. So yeah, I mean, if any of us see that, it's not just Chase, but yeah, if any of us see that, it's our responsibility to say something.
A lot of people look at him as a guy, when this season ends, if everything else goes perfect, he'll be a top 10 draft pick. How important is it for the best guys on the team to be the hardest workers and be the leaders? It just seems like it makes everybody kind of fall in behind and follow that example.
Yeah, I mean, I think to have a great team, I think your best players need to be your hardest workers, because if your best players are guys that slack off, people are going to see that and be like, oh, they're one of our best players, I could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to slack off as well. So just having our best players be our hardest workers, I think it's going to only help us.
What have you seen from Justin in terms of leadership as he's grown accustomed to being here, Justin Fields?
I mean, he's definitely grown every single day since he's gotten here, but I see him more now. If somebody doesn't run the route exactly the way he wants it, he'll get him. He's like, all right, run this flat or blah, blah, blah. He has that. He's taking more command of the offense for sure. He's just getting comfortable and loose. So you can see his personality blossoming too, so it's really cool to see.
And as a passer, what have you seen from him? You're the guy, deep safety out there defending him.
He definitely tries to look me off a lot. But yeah, he's definitely, you can tell their chemistry is definitely developing now. So their timing, the deep balls are connecting now, and yeah, it's getting really pretty scary.
How many times have you gotten him in camp?
I think I got him once. Yeah.
In camp so far, how often have you guys been having one deep safety? How often are you using two deep safeties?
A solid amount with just one safety, but I think we mix it up pretty good. So that the offense doesn't know exactly what we're going to be in. So yeah, we're pretty balanced.
It seems like you guys have talked about that since the spring with what Coach Hafley wants to do from the NFL is give the quarterback a bunch of different looks.
Yeah.
So he can't tell pre-snap necessarily or have an anticipation of exactly what you guys are going to do every play, right?
Just that's exactly what we've been doing.
Have you felt that progress of that, of you as a secondary being able to give a quarterback different looks? Just how's that gone through camp so far?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like sometimes we'll show a look where we're one high and we play that, but sometimes we'll show one high and go to two high or like a variation of that. So I mean, we're just throwing as much as we can as at a quarterback and at an offensive coordinator as possible.
And for you guys as a secondary especially, what do you have to, how would you describe how you guys have to be to make that work? Like what's your communication have to be like? What's your belief in each other have to be like to be able to say, hey, we can give these different looks from play to play and maybe even, from pre-snap to post-snap?
Yeah. It's just getting together in meeting rooms and then just on the field, just giving a little look and be like, just nod your head over and he'll understand what you're kind of saying and stuff like that. It's just like the nonverbal communication and verbal communication that we're getting down pat now.
Jordan, you've got a good perspective on this. What does Justin Fields bring, now that he's been named the starter, what does he bring to this offense that's different, whatever you want to call it, threat-wise, et cetera? What have you noticed about him?
Different from who?
Well, meaning, like last year, Dwayne didn't seem to be a real running threat. He did run some, but I mean, what makes him special? I guess Justin.
I would say he has like all the talent in the world throwing the ball, but just what he can bring, just when a play breaks down, that's just his big X factor. And I think I know we haven't been able to see it as much just because once he starts running, we kind of blow it dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be exciting to see him run on Saturdays full go.
Has it been Sean Wade next to you most of camp? Strong safety in that
You
slot
got
role?
like that slot, that slot corner.
Is that the base defense where you're the one high and he is the strong slot guy? Is that what you've been running mostly?
I guess we're pretty multiple and like throwing a bunch of different guys in. So I can't really say what base will be. It'll kind of
How's
be
he
like
played
once a week.
so far this camp?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He's just so smart and just in his disguises and all that, but like just and his anticipation of what's coming has really come along, and his man technique is great, and he's just a very instinctual player. So just in zone, he gets his hands on footballs, and yeah, he's everywhere.
We've talked to Ryan Day every week, and he keeps talking about how often you guys are creating turnovers, how often you guys are getting your hands on the ball. How much different is that than it was last year? Are you guys able to be freer in doing that, or why are you doing that more?
I think it just comes from being able to have our eyes on the quarterback. So we're in man a lot of the time, but we have some change-ups where we're not. So just being able to read the quarterback, I think gives us more chances to get our hands on footballs.
Jordan, Tuff said that he feels night and day compared to where he was with the preparation that he got this offseason. What have you seen from him, and do you feel like he's different right now than he was at this point a year ago?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know Tuff's hard on himself, so last year I always felt like he was in the right spots. But this year, he's definitely been in the right spots, and I could tell he's flashing more on film too.
And
playing more confident, just everything. I think Tuff's playing like himself and the kind of player that he expects himself to be.
does he feel physically better than where he was last year when he was recovering from something at the same time?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, just being able to get basically a full off season of training and stuff like that, it definitely helps you.
Do you think he wasn't able to be himself last year?
You know, I would say he wanted to be on the field as fast as he could, and I don't think he was probably 100% out there, but yeah, it's fun seeing him go right now.
You and Tuff are the two returning captains. What from him during last season did you see that like this is a captain moment? This is why he was captain. Were there any of those that you remember from him?
It's every day. Yeah, it's every day tough. He brings it, like the energy and just the work ethic, and you can see the look in his eyes. Just he doesn't take one play off, and it means so much to him. That's why we vote him as a captain. Really, it's that I can't really point out one specific time, but it's just an everyday thing where Tuff brings it, and that's really hard to do.
What do you think about him potentially being the second 3-time captain?
He deserves it. Definitely deserves it.